What? So how old do you have to be to start going to sleep at 6?
So Sean comes in with this, okay?
It's chili. It's emergency rations. Come on.
Yeah, and then I'm like, what are you doing with the chili? Are we gonna have some kind of chili fight, cook-off? I don't know. No, it's his breakfast. Because he doesn't need lunch, mind you, because we're going, the studio's leaving, and
She's
we're going
in a precocious mood today.
And it's early. It's before 11.
I know.
And I haven't even had my tea yet.
And so with Shannon, because I set the hours originally at 9:30, be here by 9:30. I don't know why I did that. All that time. Really.
Now he says, and this is recorded by the way, because in 3 months he'll forget all about this and he'll be like, Shannon, I really need everybody here at 9 o'clock. And I'll be like, Sean, we've done this. Nope, I'm the boss. I really need you here by 9 o'clock.
That's why you get things in writing.
And recording.
So
this works out well for me.
Here we go. Don't have Shannon. I'm writing it down now. Are you happy?
I feel like we're really far apart. Are we good on this?
Yeah, check. It seems good to me. It seems right.
Yeah, no, it is right. Weird.
Before 10:30. But if she's at
11
o'clock,
it's
10:30.
10:45.
Yeah, 10:45 maybe. So here you go. Keep this. I'm going to initial it. Okay.
Can you date it?
Yeah, sure thing. Jan.
I like proof.
4/2013.
Have you been writing 2012?
No, I've actually swung right into 2013.
Yeah,
no problems.
Me too. I usually for like a good month, like wrote 20. Like I always write the last year, like all of January. This year I'm on it, but I have to think every time I do it. Like it's not just.
Yeah, you just kind of stop.
Yeah. But.
Yeah.
Yes, that's 2013. The world didn't end. That was kind of a shocker.
Wow.
I know.
Just like in Y2K.
The Mayans couldn't predict it. What's wrong with those guys?
The Mayans had it upside down. It's actually 5105 that the world ends. I'm kidding that they're holding it upside down. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
No, but if you think about it, it's kind of funny. Yeah. I got it, eventually. You had to explain it a little bit. So I had an end of the world party with all of my closest friends. That was kind of fun, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty basic, but
so,
we all didn't
I wasn't
die.
at this party.
Well, you're not a drinker.
She knew I would be asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could have been at 6:30.
I'd be that guy anyway. Okay, continue.
No, that was it. What did you do for New Year's? Did you stay up till midnight?
No, I fell asleep at 8 o'clock.
This guy.
Same as always.
I went to bed at 6 o'clock last night. I got up at 4 o'clock this morning. That's not a healthy schedule.
Well, here's the deal. Since I started this company, I have gone to sleep when I was tired and got up when I wasn't tired. Really basically no schedule.
Right.
So what does that look like? What does your natural human needs kind of, dictate as far as your sleep schedule? So, yeah, I don't think it's right to have to get up early for school. There it is, I said it. Or early for your job or whatever it is. There should be no alarm clocks.
But you have tried to get me here early for so long, and now you're coming to this.
If I may.
Finally.
Here's why. Here's why. Because I want you to be here when I'm here. There you go. Yeah. The mountain comes to Muhammad. What? I'm just saying. That's a saying, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. So
I stayed up till midnight on New Year's, but it was kind of like a crappy New Year's. It was really weird. I went to some friend's house for dinner.
New Year's Day or New Year's
Eve, and we all had kids there, so there was tons of kids running around, and it was just kind of a headache. Actually, we did dinner. That was nice, but yeah. So now a very exciting New Year's Eve.
So just dinner with friends.
And then we stayed and did fireworks at midnight and that whole jazz. But it snowed here so bad on New Year's Eve. Oh my gosh.
It was beautiful.
It really was pretty. It was like crystals, like everything was all shiny and shimmery.
It was magic.
But driving home in it was the worst thing ever. It was pretty scary. Because apparently plows didn't work on New Year's Eve. What were they doing, huh? Gosh, like they have a light.
Right?
Don't they just work around the snow?
Know. They should know they have to make a sacrifice for society.
Well, think about all of the people that were driving home on New Year's Eve. Half of them drunk, and then you get the snow factor.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think it's like drunk driving all over the place? Well, there you go.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you don't?
Drive home drunk? No.
No. You don't think that there were a lot of drunk drivers?
No, I'd imagine less than 1% of drivers.
Oh my gosh, no. I would say at least.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
All right, that's my Pollyanna view of the.
I mean, they set up like roadblocks and stuff.
Yeah, well, there's another reason.
Yeah, but people are idiots. They're like, there's not gonna be a roadblock. They do it. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So.
There's they do a lot of DUIs in Utah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, my New Year's Eve, I get home, the car is kaput, the water heater's kaput. Like my house is falling apart. I've got to reinvest in my own home. Like the stove doesn't work or it works on and off, you know. And it's sad. It's not a good situation. So she's like rubbing my face and I'm like, why does this washcloth smell?
Oh. Okay.
Anyway,
it's a good story. That's funny.
Is it a good story?
Yeah, I think it's a good story.
Oh, I don't know.
You always have to have those embarrassing stories, though.
Well, yeah.
You know.
So anyway, my brother-in-law came over. He fixed the car. He fixes the water heater. Water heater's still intermittent. We're waiting for parts for it. And yeah, it does.
Well, and I want to add to this.
How did society survive those
like
thousands of years with no water?
Fireplaces, you know, like
they heat their water up and they would have a little basin.
Who has time for that anymore? You know.
I get the time that I'm most thankful is when I'm in the shower. A nice hot shower. Yeah. I'm like, this is so nice. Thank you, God. Thank you.
Well, you're lucky your pipes haven't froze yet. I want to add to everybody, at night it gets below 0 here. Like, what has it been? Like -10?
Yeah,
it's been
very.
And even during the day, it's like 9 degrees. That's our high. And it's probably colder other places, but for us, we are wimps. I mean, it's not usually this bad, this long. It's been like a good week where it's been this cold. So pipes have busted, frozen. I mean, it's brutal. So the other day I went to go take a shower, and I just hurry and turn the shower on and get in, you know. And my water is freezing. And it actually takes it like a good 5-10 minutes to get warm. Like, I think all the pipes were so cold that it actually, like...
The hot water going through the pipes just
actually got
freezes.
cold.
Yeah.
And then finally, like, the pipes got warm, and so my water got warm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, because it took like 5 minutes. I jumped in the shower, I'm like, oh my gosh! And at that point, you just gotta hurry and do it, you know? So... Yeah,
just get it done.
Yeah, so it was brutal.
So, when I was in South America, I lived basically like the lower class of that.
Do they have showers there?
Okay, so let me tell you how this works. So I get assigned to a little seaside village called Pichilemu, which in the indigenous tongue, it ain't peachy. Not in the winter time. It's great in the summer, but I was assigned there during the winter, and in the native tongue it means little forest. And so anyway, so the bathroom is a concrete cell, and there's a drain in the middle, and out of the wall is this metal pipe that just sticks out. And there's a single knob that makes water come out of the pipe or not come out of the pipe.
So you don't have to
So now, downstairs, if I may, downstairs they have something called a calefón, which is basically a gas heater that heats up, physically flames shoot out like a barbecue grill and heat up the pipe, and as the water goes through it,
it heats up the water. Fast enough, does it?
Oh, no, it does it instantaneously. If you turn the water down so just a little bit's coming out, it'll be hot enough to make tea.
Really?
Yeah, well, think about it. It's like a stove burner. It's about this long.
Yeah, I don't know this stuff. I turn on my water, it's warm. I don't know how.
Yeah, well, we have what's called a water heater, which is this big, giant cylinder that actually maintains hot water 24 hours a day. So when you turn it on, there's a whole thing of hot water, just 50 gallons of it, just ready to do whatever your use is. Yeah. And but anyway, in Chile, so I remember, and they're all winter, and so I go in, I turn it on, and just ice water comes out. This is like the first day of spring. So I get my clothes back on. I go downstairs to the woman of the house, and I say, "Hey, I noticed there's no, propane for the calefón," and she says, "Oh, well, it's spring now. There wouldn't be."
Oh my gosh, they just shut it off.
That is correct. Yeah. No more. There was no hot water in that house after the first day of spring.
Wow.
It was pretty brutal.
Even if it's still cold.
So my point is, it was still freezing. Wow. Still freezing cold. Yeah.
They're like, nope,
ice,
done.
Ice cold showers.
Huh.
So yeah, it was pretty brutal. So my point is, boy, when I got back to the States, brand new appreciation. Like I'd just like, oh man, like a swimming pool. A swimming pool is just this luxury beyond compare. You know, I'd be like, oh my gosh, my bed has no fleas in it. It just felt so good to not have fleas crawling on my body at night.
Is that for real?
It was awesome. Oh, it was peachy lame-o again. Yeah, we'd be in someone's house, and I just, man, I lived with and understood wretched poverty beyond description.
Wow.
So you go to these people's house, the floor is dirt, they put down cardboard, like that's a little fancier than just the dirt. So they put down cardboard, and when it was quiet, you could hear tick-tack of fleas jumping around on the cardboard.
Wow.
And you could feel them crawling up your legs.
Ew.
Oh, and you know, you don't want to be
slept.
impolite, but yeah, it was bad to feel them crawling on you at night. I'd get home every day and pick them out of my clothes. Parasites.
Oh my God.
Hey, how's that? The moral of this story is, boy, be grateful for what you got.
Yeah, seriously.
It is well, I'm not going to say the poorest person in the U.S. because that person's probably sleeping in a doorway. But typically the poorer people of a given U.S. city are better off than most humans worldwide, I think.
Yeah.
And boy, just be grateful. Boy, that was a little heavy-handed. I'm sorry. Let's go. And now back to the show. Go ahead. Now say something.
What do you say after that?
Yeah,
Everything I say just seems really
I was
superficial.
trying to give
now.
your problems. I call it problems you have in the U.S.
Yeah.
The sprinkles on my donut were a little waxy today.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's really cold.
So,
That's what I'm gonna go back to.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm just going to cut that whole thing.
No, don't. It was good.
Cutting it.
No, it was good.
I'm definitely cutting out man jibs.
I think you should not cut anything out. I think people should be grateful
So
for
you're not offended by that? That's not
No.
inappropriate?
You've said completely worse stories than that.
Yeah, but I still,
Yeah.
you know, I need to be considerate, so thank you very much. Okay, great. Very
Okay.
well, I accept.
So, we had a client do something really nice for the studio.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of took us on a studio date, or he's going to, actually.
He took the studio out on a date.
Yeah, he just wasn't
Well,
here
we're not
for it.
putting out.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Some of the guys downstairs might. I don't know.
That's awesome.
So we're gonna go bowling today on one of our clients. So that's awesome. Not bowling on him because that would be weird and that would be really painful.
That
actually.
would be painful.
Yeah, really painful.
So yeah, we're working on this project. The client was like, well, I'm so appreciative for what you've done. And he sent us a budget for a studio, whatever it is we wanted to do.
And we decided bowling and some burgers. So we're going to go do that today. We're pretty excited.
I'm excited. I'm super. Oh, you know what else
Are
is
you a
exciting?
good bowler?
No, not particularly. I'm not bad. You know, I get it. But no, I'm not. Definitely not good.
Do you slip and fall in the shoes sometimes?
No. I know you're hoping that. Shannon thinks it's funny when I'm incompetent. And
Who doesn't?
she's amused very often.
I'm amused easily as well. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I don't remember now.
I'm sorry.
I think we're going to go bowling.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I've just had such great holidays. So simple, no trips.
Yeah.
Only my wife and 4 kids. They were so good for Christmas. They were like Norman Rockwell painting good that whole time. Getting along, thank you so much. They were just so appreciative and enthusiastic, and you know, we just hung out all day long. Just hung out at home. It's beautiful. I love family life. I am domesticated. It's pretty awesome.
So I made my family's kind of weird this year. Everybody's kind of spread out and stuff. My mom lives far away. My brothers live far away, not far away, but so everybody meets at my house. It's kind of the place where everybody meets. And so for Christmas Eve, I made a ham, my first ham ever.
Oh, awesome!
And it was so good.
Like a full-on, big old slab of ham.
like a big old ham.
That you baked in the oven.
that I baked, and it was awesome. It was so good, and I did like the.
Oh, that just made me so hungry.
Are you gonna eat your chili?
Yeah, I'm gonna run down and eat my can of chili.
Here's the kicker, right? So I'm so excited for this dinner, right? I plan ahead. I mean, I've got this thing like it's already coated with brown sugar and all this other stuff everybody told me to do. And so I have it cooking. My mom comes over and she's sick. And my son's sick. Oh. She had my kids for a couple days. And so find out my son's been puking at her house. And my mom is like, I think I'm getting sick too, right when she gets to my house.
Oh no.
I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's Christmas Eve.
So it was a hammy puke-tastic Christmas.
Well, nobody ate the ham. So anyways, my mom's in bed the whole time.
They look at this giant ham and they're like,
no, so my mom's in bed the whole time. My son's on the floor and he's just like, oh, I'm dying.
Hold on, on the floor? Like he's on the floor in like fetal position.
No, not like in fetal, like he's watching TV and movies and stuff.
Okay.
Movies on. Like he's trying to be still sociable, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
sweet. So then I call my brother because he's got a little kid, and I was like, do you want to come over? Like everybody's kind of sick, and he's like, we gotta come over. It's Christmas Eve, we have presents and stuff. So I was like, okay, we'll try to keep everybody like kind of quarantined,
Quarantine.
So
it's a quarantine Christmas.
So then my other brother, I have two brothers. Then my other brother, he's already in my house. He starts to feel sick. I'm going, oh my gosh, what is this?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, so it was really weird. But so my mom gets up for like a second. She's like, oh my gosh, that food smells so bad, and it smells so good.
Oh.
And it's this ham that I like put so much heart in. I've never done it before. I'm all excited.
Hey Mom, I made a ham all by myself.
Yeah.
Oh.
30 years old, and I'm pretty excited about my ham, and everybody's sick, too sick to eat it, right? So my brother and his wife, they come over, and my other brother's girlfriend. I mean, we all just kind of enjoyed this ham, nobody else, this huge ham, and nobody else is eating it. It was kind of sad. So it ended up just being like a 24-hour kind of flu thing, And so everybody ended up getting it, though. I got it Christmas Day. And then, actually the only person who didn't get it was my daughter.
Bad.
My daughter didn't get it, which she gets sick all the time. You know her. She gets sick all the time
She's
for everything. Yeah. And she actually, and I held off for a little while. Like, I was the last one to get it. So, yeah, everybody got it. But my mom woke up the next morning feeling awesome, and so did my son. I was like, dude, this sucks. And then me and my brother's girlfriend were all sick the next day.
That's so bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But the ham leftovers were awesome. It was really good. So, yeah, it was fun, I guess. It kind of sucked, actually. I mean, I planned this Christmas Eve dinner, and, like half the people. And then I'm trying to take care of my son and my mom, and you know what I mean? It was just kind of... I hated Christmas this year, actually.
More than usual.
More than usual, because I'm kind of a Scrooge. I don't know what it is. Christmas to me is a stressful time. I'm single, you guys know this, and I have 2 kids. So Christmas for me is like, oh, I have to decorate all this stuff, I have to get all these presents, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. When I really don't get time just to kind of sit and enjoy it and kind of, oh, lovely time of year. I don't get that really. And so for me, it's just kind of a headache, a stressful time of year. And I guess I just don't appreciate it as much as I probably should. And that's probably my own fault, but yeah. So I was really excited this year to cook my ham, and then that kind of got destroyed. But maybe it's because I have a crappy attitude on Christmas.
Well, I believe that.
Yeah.
I think attitude, when I go into a week and I psych myself out, and I'm like, I don't let myself think negative thoughts, I actually speak like louder.
Yeah.
And I went to this body language course, and the theory is if you change your posture, you can actually change, everything around you can change from that.
Yeah.
And how you speak. And so anyway, those weeks go great. Sales are fantastic, everything's flying. All the little problems that crop up, they just get flattened. I just mow right over them with this massive wave of psychotic cheerfulness. Wow! And I do. I get myself a little psyched out every morning. Yeah. I look at my vision board, all the things. Like, if I could have anything I want, carte blanche, here it is. It's all written down. And I get myself a little pumped over that. And but I'll tell you, over the holidays, I did have a bit of a Scrooge cropping up too. That I was like, 2012 was the year of shattered dreams.
Well, 2012
stuff
wasn't
didn't turn out the way that I had hoped.
For me. I don't know about for you. 2012 was probably one of my least favorite years, actually. Like, I mean, nothing huge and horrible happened. I mean, nobody got cancer and died or anything, like, tragic like that. I mean, it just, overall, though, like, nothing kind of panned out how I wanted it to. Everything just kind of, yeah. I didn't get farther ahead in my life or my goals or my dreams. I just kind of almost stayed or got set back almost. You know, that's kind of how I felt with 2012. So, yeah, I was talking to my friend last night. He's like, you know, he's like, every time I've had a bad New Year's Eve, though, my year has been awesome. I was like, well, I didn't have a great one, so maybe this year will be awesome. It's good.
This is a family show, Shannon.
Yeah, actually, every time
and
you say that,
little kids are going to be like...
You have, like, teenagers that watch it, and they will think that's hilarious. Seriously, it's good.
Okay, so there you go.
Why do people watch this if they can't laugh at you?
Because we're around the studio, we're cracking down on profanity.
Oh, boy.
And, well, and apparently, like, I like me some mild profanity, right? And apparently that's not okay. So hold on. I'm making the Blue Table Painting Guide to Legitimate Profanity. I'm going to invent new words, like caster.
Okay. I wonder if people are going to memorize these.
Well, they won't have to, because I'm going to hand out little reference cards.
Like index cards.
Yeah. And I'm going to be like, this means this, this means this, this means... So we'll all know. And therefore, we will defeat the purpose.
Well, so it's interesting because I swear like a sailor when I'm not here.
Oh, no, I've heard it.
Have you?
Yeah. Well, when I'm driving with you.
Oh, yeah. That's when the crazy comes out.
Shouting this and that, making gesticulations. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you are so awesome. Bring it on.
So it's not hard.
I feel safer, actually.
Do you?
If I'm driving with somebody who is not a reckless driver, but I'm going to say a moderately aggressive driver.
I'm aggressive.
Someone who's alert, like they're just like looking around. Right. They're aware of their situation. That's great.
Ben rode with me.
I'm worried about the person that's kind of half asleep. You know, they're fiddling around with the radio.
Right.
You know, they blow past a stop sign.
Their makeup. I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's weird. So Ben 1 was riding with me. I don't know where we went, but he was like, seriously, people need to sign waivers to ride in your car with you. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I tell you about the time I was driving. I think I've already told this story. We had a couple people in from out of the country and out of state, Jason and Yin, when I took them up to the Derby game.
Those guys were great.
And
hey, Jason and Yin.
Hey, I almost...
And Richard.
He didn't go with us, though. So.
Okay, yeah.
We just went out to the Derby game. I took him to a Derby game, and...
Oh, are you kidding?
You
took these two Welshmen? Or a Welshman?
No, he's from Iowa.
Right, because Derby is a uniquely American phenomenon.
No, it's not actually. It's funny now. So I took these guys. They came out here for Valhalla, and there was a Derby game. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to go up to this game. Do you guys want to go with me? And they're like, yeah, let's go. And now Yin plays roller derby.
No kidding.
Yeah, we've actually stayed in touch, and he joined men's league up in, Welsh? Where is he? What did you say?
Wales.
Welsh, because I always massacred that. I was like England and then Britain, and he would get really mad.
Britain?
I don't know.
By the way, that is a Utah accent that you're hearing right there.
Britain.
With, Shannon has a pretty strong.
Yeah. But I also get that I'm from Minnesota sometimes. It's weird with some things I say. It's really
weird. You're from Minnesota?
No, I'm not at all. But people, like sometimes every once in a while, this weird accent comes out. Okay. Yeah. Have you ever seen Bobby's World? The cartoon?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. No.
It's a cartoon. You'll have to look it up. And so there's like this pregnant mom in the show, and she's from like Minnesota. And you'll have to look it up. But people sometimes are like, "God, you sound just like Bobby's mom." It's fun. There you go. So anyways, we're driving up to this Derby game with these guys, and this old lady like seriously has it out for me, right? So she won't
on the road.
Yeah, on the road. She won't get out of my way. So I'm trying to go past her. She's in the passing lane, which is the very far left lane, and she's going really slow, so she's in my way. So I try to go past her. She gets upset by this, right? Speeds up with me, so I can't get past her, right? And so at this point, I'm getting pissed off. I'm yelling at this lady, and Yin and Jason were freaking out a little bit. We kind of duked it out, and we almost got in a wreck, and finally I had to give it up. I was like, okay, lady, you win. This old lady won. Yeah, she was crazy. So that was a kind of scary story. But we really did come pretty close.
A little bit of road rage.
We came pretty close to hitting, actually.
I have to tell you, I don't have any road rage.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll just drive. I say, God bless you and speed you on your way, brother. And I just back off. And I found if you back off of people, they'll return to normalcy.
You know what's really scary though is.
By the way, that's a great life lesson.
You know what's really scary though is when it snows here. I mean, it's horrible because people drive like retards here, and when it snows, I think
Utahns would be familiar with the weather, and they would.
You think they would,
judicious.
but they're not, and they never go the right speed limit. You know, so I was driving up to. I was thinking.
You mean they go inappropriately fast?
Yeah.
For the
so
weather?
Here's an example. So it's snowing. It was like 2 weeks ago when we had that horrible blizzard, but it was way worse up north.
Oh yeah.
So I was driving up to Orem, and in this horrible blizzard, it was really stupid, and there was no plows out yet. So the road is just, I mean, there's like 5 inches of snow. I mean, it was bad.
Wow. Was this on the freeway?
This was on the freeway too.
Okay.
So I'm going probably about 45. I have ball tires too, so there's that. So I'm going about 45, you know.
And that's even a little fast for that.
Yeah, like I was a little bit like, I don't want to be the slow guy and cause accidents. So I'm driving, and this car, this little crappy neon Dodge or something, you know, comes just barreling next to me, gets in front of me really fast. Like I kind of, at that point I slow down, and it just starts spinning the freeway, just spinning. I mean, through all the lanes and spinning. And at this point, I'm hitting my brakes and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, don't let me hit him. Oh my God, don't let me hit him, because that's all you can do at that point. You know, there's really, I can't stop. I'm sliding. And so, thankfully, when they stopped spinning, they were in the other lane and not in mine, so I was kind of able just to kind of weave around them. But that's what you deal with here. Oh yeah, so I didn't hit him. But that's what you deal with here is people like that. So if it's, and people ask me all the time, like, because I'm the worst driver when it's snowing, because, and it's not because I'm scared of what I'm going to do, I'm a great driver, but I'm scared of everybody else around me. And that's really the scariest part. So. You've got
to be a defensive driver.
Oh, you have to.
Like, you know, if I come to like yield signs, I don't assume they're going to yield.
Right.
I don't even assume people are going to stop at a red light.
Right.
If I have a green light, I still look and see if maybe somebody's missing.
Well, then people move here or come here, you know, and they're like, wow, your drivers are horrible here.
Now, she's saying this. I really haven't seen this.
So, I don't know why you're missing this. Well, here's
what's
the
probably
example.
happening is that I am such a non-aggressive driver. Like, I'm always just driving kind of in the slow lane and letting whatever people are doing, that's fine.
You know, I've noticed, like, we kind of get the drivers that are like, okay, you turn on your blinker to get over. They speed up.
Now, I have had that.
They speed up. They don't stop to let you in.
I don't understand that mentality.
And then
of like, oh, this is my piece of road.
Yeah.
Very territorial.
Yeah. Oh, I can't let you in front of me. You know,
Yeah.
and they do that all the time. It's very rare that you will find a person that will actually slow down for you. I slow down. I stop and I let you in because that's what you're supposed to do. I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I heard, I should look it up. I should know these laws. That if you have your blinker on for 3 seconds, you can just move over. Like, I mean, obviously not.
I would look that up.
No, but that gives you right. That's your warning, and then you can, you know,
drift on over. Well, most people will give if you start drifting, you know, and
I think I just meet these people who are 10 times aggressive more than me.
I think you magnetize them to you.
Yeah. So here's what drives me nuts is when we had a lot of construction over here the last 4 years. When you say, I mean, the whole freeway got redone, and so it was a nightmare. I mean, things were coned off. It was one lane, you know, and you're trying to merge, and yeah, it was ridiculous. So there would be a lot of merging coming in when they'd have the sign, you know, way far back saying the right lane's going to close ahead. So every logical person should say, oh, I should get in the left lane because the right lane's going to close. No.
Well, then you have they speed all the way up to the last possible thing, then put on their blinker and kind of just
go in, right? So I don't let those people in, right? Because I'm
so you do what the old lady was doing to you.
I don't let them
block
in.
Them off.
How disrespectful is that? Why is their time more important than mine? When I'm willing to get in the lane, the right lane, and go ahead.
All is revealed.
Yes.
Excellent.
And so I will let one in, and that's my rule though. I'll let 1 or 2 in, and especially if they have their blinker on way before the end, then I'll let them in. But I don't sit and let 4 or 5 or 6 people ahead of me. I've done my duty by letting 1 in.
Well, that's the zipper. You go every other one.
Yeah.
Do you know where they have polite drivers?
Where?
I believe
Where?
is San Francisco Bay Area.
Really?
I commuted 40. I spent 40 hours a month in my car for 3 years. So how long is that?
I've been there, and I don't.
And what I noticed is that the traffic is so bad. I really believe that there was a sense of courtesy. There's always rude drivers, but by and large, I'd say that there was a sense where people would, be paying attention. They wouldn't, they try and stay close so the maximum people could like get through a light.
No, and I've driven through there, and I do remember
you have that zippering thing. Yeah. And so I don't know. That was my take. Maybe I just view the world through rose-colored glasses. I'm like a Muppet. I'm just like, people are so awesome. It's like, are you serious, Sean? And you'd say that's true?
Yeah, I don't think people are so awesome as a whole.
Oh, there you go. No, but you think it's true that I see people through rose-colored glasses?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm kind of jaded. I'm completely the opposite.
A little naive, maybe, still.
Yeah. My first instinct is like the negative, I think.
Huh.
And you kind of look at it the opposite way. So.
Yeah, to be accepting and look on the bright side of people. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, so oh man, I have like 10 stories to tell. Okay, I'll do them in 15 seconds. Yeah, I see that look. Okay, so first off, when I was in the San Francisco Bay Area, there's this giant hill, 5-lane hill that goes down from Livermore into, there was a name, it's called the Sunol Grade or something like that. So anyway, one morning at like 4:30 a.m. I'm going, and this like 5 accidents happen around me. People spinning out, crashing into each other, and I just go unharmed out of this whole mess.
Why were they?
I couldn't even
what
believe
happened?
it. I don't know what caused it. So awesome for that. And then the second time, when my wife and I were young, we rented a car and drove to Utah, and there was cliff, road, cliff, right? And this is over the Rocky Mountains. Okay. And Tammy, decides to see what the car can do, and she spins out. And we made 3 full revolutions, actually staying within the confines of the road, 2 lanes.
Wow.
At like 80 miles an hour.
Wow.
And I was sleeping at the time. So, yeah, so now I found out what I will say when I wake up suddenly to find my life in danger. I called on the God of my fathers. Something like that, kept like this Old Testament type of, It was pretty awesome. So anyway, and I helped my wife for Christmas. Not my usual, but I think it will be my usual thing.
What did you help her do?
Put up decorations, do stockings, wrap all the presents. Usually a great source of tension, which is why, we haven't done that in the past.
Right.
But now, we're older, we're more mature, our relationship is smoother, and it was really quite wonderful.
Nice.
Oh, and The Hobbit.
Have
you seen The Hobbit?
No.
That's a no. It's okay.
I know. Well, there's a story that goes with it. My son is 11. When all the other Lord of the Rings came out, he would watch these over and over and over again. I mean, over and over again. Yeah. To the point where he had them memorized. Like, he would say something, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And a second later, they would say it on the screen. He had it memorized before they said it, okay? I couldn't handle it anymore, so I got rid of the DVDs. I know.
You're the evil stepmother.
You know what, though? I'm not a stepmother. I'm the evil mother. But here's the thing.
The plain old evil mother.
3.5
hours long. The stepmother's looking pretty good.
They are 3.5 hours long. And it got to a point where that's really like just kind of all he wanted to do over like this summer break. And I was like, yeah, no more. Got rid of them. So we don't have the Lord of the Rings DVDs anymore, okay? He borrows them from people. I mean, he knows how much I hate them.
He found a way.
I mean, he borrows them from my aunt, my dad, and he borrows these movies from all these people, and he's like, guess what I got today? I'm like, you're such a jerk. Why are you doing this to me, So I let him watch it. It goes back. So my son really wanted to see it. I'm a little burnt out on the whole Lord of the Rings thing, even like 5 years later. I don't know how long it's been. So yeah, I have no desire to see this movie. Plus it's 3 hours long, over 3 hours. And so, yeah, so my son really wanted to see it, though, and I was like, I probably should take him. Like, I know how much he loves it, and I've I'd be willing to do that sacrifice for my child because I know how much he loves it. But it turns out that my brother and his girlfriend were going to go see it. And I was like, oh, hey, is this like a date thing? Or can you take my son? And so he got to go see it. Everybody's happy, win-win. So.
Oh, so he already went to go see it?
Yeah, he already went to see it.
Great. And you won because you didn't
because
have
I
to go
didn't
see
have
it.
to see it. But you know, I had a friend go see it, and she actually saw it twice, and she's like way into that kind of stuff, and she hated it.
Right.
So I mean, everybody else seemed to love it, but
right.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of this action sequence, and a client calls. You know, ring, ring. And so I'm talking to this client. These people behind me are so rude. They're like, "Sir, could you please?" No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. I don't do that.
I was like, I would be throwing my drink on.
No, I'm very polite in the movie theater. So anyway, awesome. So we went to go see The Hobbit, me and my wife, and
you didn't take the kids.
No, we usually screen movies first to see if they'll be okay for the kids. Right. So, but we're taking the boys to see it, probably this coming week. And but I loved The Hobbit, loved it. Can't wait to go see it again. And I had read the book again and listened to the book on tape like 3 times.
Sweet.
So I had it all. I could tell you all the whole plot of the entire thing. So yeah, it was great. So basically, instead of taking a book and chopping it down and making a movie, everything that's in the book is in there, practically, and they take other elements from the lore and reweave them into the entire story.
Interesting.
Well, if you think about it, it's a trilogy, 2.5 hours each. Everything's in there.
So much
and then they take artistic license, and I'm just like, it was really cool. And I got my groove back. Because 2012 did kind of beat me down a little bit.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
But it was a rough year.
It was.
How was everybody else's 2012? I mean,
yeah,
are we the only one that felt this way? Like, it was just kind of a
It was
an
exception. It was like 2008 was really hard, and 2012 was really hard. But if you go back and analyze it, because you can't just have kind of a complainy sort of feeling in your life. You've got to, get a piece of paper out, write down what is actually bothering you.
Well, I think we've embraced the fact that it was a crappy year, and now we're ready to move on. So.
Yeah, but see, I'm not saying it's a crappy year. I am saying once I actually analyzed everything, no, I actually made a lot of gains in business, a lot of gains in family, a lot of gains personally, huge amounts of gains. In fact, I'd say my life completely changed in 2012. Sweet. My whole outlook, how I approach things, improved for the better. Yes, so 2012 was an awesome year, and I've got an awesome feeling about 2013. Ooh,
so I'm going to go see Django tonight. Have you heard of this movie?
No.
You haven't heard of this movie?
Django?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound familiar.
So there's a D in front of it, Django.
Oh, okay.
Does that sound familiar?
Okay, so what? No.
Yeah. So it's Quentin Tarantino's new film, and I'm pretty excited, and I've heard good things. So I'm surprised you haven't heard about it.
What's the general plot?
Actually don't really know.
It's a Quentin Tarantino film. It'll be cool.
I mean, it looks funny. It's like a Western kind of, like there's like cowboys. Like
oh, okay. All right.
I don't know. It looks awesome.
That sounds right up his alley.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino does it.
Good for him.
Well, you know my son's named Quentin, right?
Right.
Yeah. So.
Is he named after Quentin Tarantino?
Well, not necessarily after Tarantino.
You should say that.
Well, here's the thing. So me and my mom, when I was pregnant, we would go through the baby name book and try to make fun of any name that we liked. So I would say a name and she would make fun of it, you know. For some reason, that was a big deal.
That doesn't seem healthy.
When you're 18, for some reason, you just don't want your child's name to be made fun of. So that's how we went through it. It was pretty funny, though. I mean, the things that we would say, you know.
18 and having a baby.
Yeah, I would not recommend that.
No.
So, so we came across Quentin, and there was nothing that I could make fun of. I mean, what do you make fun of Quentin? You know?
Oh, easy. Quentin.
Okay.
Quentin.
Haunting noises doesn't really work out. You can do that with any name. So
yes, that's right. Matter. That's my point.
Right.
Like my parents named me Sean because nothing really rhymes with Sean, or you can't really make fun of Sean. Sean the leprechaun who went to school with nothing on. Thanks, Mom. Anyway, go ahead.
Did you dress up like a leprechaun?
Yeah, I did that. That was great at school.
So anyway, we came across his name, and I loved the meaning of the name. There was nothing we could make fun of it, and I was like, that's awesome. And at the time, there wasn't a lot of Quentins, you know. And so there's 2 ways you can spell it. It's Quinton or Quentin. Quinton to
Right.
me.
Yeah.
But that's the way that Quentin Tarantino spells his name.
Right.
So I was like, actually, I'm gonna go with that one, kind of
Because of Quentin Tarantino.
Because of how he spells his name.
I'm going with kid named after Quentin Tarantino.
No.
Yep, sorry.
That was how the spelling came
I've already
about.
declared it.
That was how the spelling came about. So yeah, he's got an awesome name. He's got tons of nicknames too. Do your kids have nicknames?
Yeah.
So I'm lazy, and when I text and stuff, it's always Q. You know, we just call him Q. Because everybody knows there's not another Q on the planet. You know, I mean, I'm sure there is, but not in my general area. Q Ball is another one, because he usually plays soccer. So yeah, he's got tons of nicknames.
That's awesome.
Quintino, when I'm calling him a girl. Yeah, he's got tons of nicknames.
That's awesome.
Did you have any nicknames growing up?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
No nicknames.
And so my kids have tons of nicknames. I don't know if that's something I'm like compensating for them because they
Yeah,
don't
no, all my kids have names where we shorten them, we rhyme things with them. Yeah, yeah, that's good.
Awesome.
Yeah, my kids are not in public school anymore. They're all being homeschooled. And as far as I'm concerned, they'll never see the inside of a public school again. And Willow is going to be free-range grass-fed. She'll never have been in public school.
Not like high school or anything.
Oh no, well, if they wanted to go, then I would reconsider it. Yeah, I'm not going to force them to necessarily do, because that's the whole point.
Right. Is
that I believe that obviously children need guidance, but more than that, they need opportunity.
Right.
And to try things and go on a journey of self-discovery. And so, you know, that sounds a little hippie, but it certainly worked for me. I was fortunate enough to go to public school, but go to a public school that was run so loosely that pretty much we did get to do whatever we wanted. Yeah, it was.
That was in Oregon,
awesome.
right?
Yep, Southern Oregon in the 80s.
Yeah.
Great place and time to be. Absolutely fantastic. Wouldn't have traded it for. I had a great childhood. It's funny though, because like 5 years ago, I was visiting Oregon, and my mother and I went to a diner for breakfast. And she leans over the booth. She's like, "I'm going to tell you the real story." And she told me everything that happened when I was a very young child. And she was like, "Don't you remember any of this? You know, these people or places, or, you know, don't you remember staying with your uncle and aunt so-and-so?" And I'm like, I do not. I blanked out these huge sections of my life. Yeah.
Our kids do that all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, there's infant amnesia,
Right.
which is up to age about 3 or 4.
Right.
Typically, you don't remember anything. Right. And you know. But my point is rose-colored glasses. I think that is my defining characteristic. That I just saw everything. I was being passed around between relatives because they all loved me so much. And they all wanted to take turns being with me. Because I was the golden child. The blessed one who had finally come into their lives. Right?
Well, I think me and you kind of had similar backgrounds, I think, in a little bit. And,
but in a way, your son is having the experience that I had growing up. Because I mean, he must be like 12 now, right?
11.
So starting like, I think age it is 13.
Right.
Yeah, my mom was a single mom,
Yeah.
so.
But my childhood wasn't, I don't remember the good things. I think the good things are rare.
You don't remember the good things? You remember the bad things?
I do remember most
Oh,
of the
that's
bad things.
terrible. I'm so sorry.
I know, huh?
I'm so sorry.
It's kind of jaded, wow.
Yeah, well, folks, all right, I got to tell you something about Shannon. And I take myself as at least a semi-authority. Because I've worked relatively close with you for 3 years now.
2.5, yeah.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that Shannon is not as jaded as she might believe. And inside of this prickly exterior is really quite a beautiful person. A really wonderful, shining human being.
Shining even?
Shining even. You're a resplendent soul. Now fly, float free, like a butterfly.
Maybe not.
Anyway,
We
Hobbit's
should,
awesome. Go
you
see
ready
it.
to go volunteer?
like, I was like re-inspired. I'm like rekindled, ready to go, because I've made no secret. My goal is to build Valhalla, a paradise. Like, I look at Rivendell and I go, that could be built somewhere. There's somewhere that's that beautiful. And I don't know how.
New Zealand.
But
Isn't
there
that
has
where
got to
they're
be,
filmed at?
because everyone starts out a blank slate as a little baby. Yeah. And most people who have done well for themselves or done great things, they started out really with not necessarily some kind of pre-advantage. They built it. They learned it, they dreamed it, and they built it. And you just, the key is that, yes, I'm giving a pep talk. The key is persistence. All you have to do is just keep your mind focused and keep plugging away. And, you know, I've only started. Since I started dreaming like way bigger, has only been since July of this year.
Yeah.
I'm only 6 months in.
Yeah.
And already I feel like all these mental barriers have been knocked down.
There you go, folks. There's your pep talk for
Yay!
the new year.
Happy New Year! 2013 is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome for you. All right, I think we're
Okay,
done.
sweet. Let's go bowling. Don't have Shannon in before 10:30. I gotta get out of this.